The clock hit 9:47 p.m. You sat on the living room carpet, cross-legged, shaking a soft rattle for Lily, Sicky girl drooling her chubby hands trying to grab it. Her tiny legs kicked excitedly before she finally pushed herself up on her arms, and her tiny palms slapped the floor as she crawled clumsily toward you. Your heart warmed instantly. Good job, baby. Come to Mama. Her small palm slapped softly against the carpet as she crawled into your lap, laughing for a moment. The world felt gentle until the footsteps echoed. Heavy, cold, slow, not just any footstep. His, a sound you had learned to recognize. Jungkook was home. You froze. Lily, however, perked up at the sudden noise and turned her head. Jungkook stepped inside, drenched in rain. Not his. You knew the difference. He threw his coat on the sofa, his expression blank, jaw sharp, eyes. The same dangerous, trafficking husband who once forced you into his life. Your curse, your blessings, your heartbreaks. But Lily recognized none of the darkness. She squealed loudly and crawled again, but this time toward him. You swallowed hard. He froze, because this tiny girl could destroy him with one word. He stood there at the edge of the carpet staring at the tiny girl crawling toward him, and you knew the world could hurt him 100 times, but nothing hit him harder than that little voice calling him Papa. He slowly knelt down. Lily crawled fast and threw herself into his arms, squealing. He scooped her up gently, too gently for a man like him, as if he was touching something made of glass. Appa missed you, baby, he said, lifting her against his chest, pressing a long, soft kiss to her forehead, then another to her chubby cheeks, her tiny nose. Lily babbled non-stop, her hands grabbing his jaw and hair, babbling like she was telling him everything that happened today. Jungkook nodded seriously, listening to every unintelligible sound, but his eyes kept flickering to you, waiting, hoping, hurting. Oh, really? Mama did that? Tell me more. Every time he said Mama, you just tightened, but you stayed silent, your back straight, your expression empty, your gaze anywhere except him. You stood up quietly, dusting your hands, heading toward your bedroom. Lily, come when you finish. Just as you walked past him, Jungkook turned slightly, holding Lily on his hip. His voice was soft, careful. The way he only spoke when he was speaking to your back. Did you eat? You didn't answer, you didn't pause. He tried again, quieter, almost afraid of the silence you gave him. Did you take your medicine? Just a second. Your hand froze. Your hand tightened on the bedroom door handle, but you didn't let him see that. Good night, Lily. But it was meant for him. You opened the door and walked inside, closing it softly behind you, protecting the shards left inside your chest. Jungkook stood there holding Lily, staring at the closed door. Lily touched his cheeks and wavered, confused by the tension. She didn't understand. He kissed her head again, whispering almost to himself. I just want to know you are okay. No one answered him, and the mansion fell silent again. You weren't punishing him, you were protecting yourself. Jungkook's office was silent except for the ticking of the heavy clock on the wall and the distant hum of the city. He sat behind his massive black desk, elbows on the armrest, jaw tight, eyes cold. A result of last night's frustration after you ignored him again. He hadn't slept, he hadn't eaten, he didn't care. He kept replaying the moment you walked past him, the moment you didn't answer him. Again, Lily tiny voice saying was the only thing keeping him sane. A knock broke the silence. Daniel stepped inside, calm, collected, Jungkook's most trusted right-hand man. He bowed slightly. Boss, your father-in-law is here. Mr. Lee said he needs to talk urgently. Jungkook leaned back in his chair, expression unreadable. There were only three reasons your father would come here. Something happened to him. Something happened to his business. He wanted to take you away from Jungkook. The third possibility made something dark flicker in Jungkook's eyes. He stood up slowly, silent, control in every move. He adjusted his cuffs, fixed his jacket, and ran a hand through his hair. Daniel hesitated. Bring him in. Daniel nodded and left. Your father walked into Jungkook's office with his stiff shoulders and trembling hands, but he still tried to look brave. Jungkook didn't sit, didn't blink, didn't offer respect. He simply stared, cold, sharp, lethal. Your father cleared his throat. The deal between our families, it ended last week. Jungkook jaw tightened. So I want my daughter back. I'm taking her home. The room went silent. Daniel, standing near the door, felt the air drop a few degrees. Jungkook's finger twitched once, and that was enough. He stepped forward slowly. He spoke in a voice that felt like a cold ice cube against skin. You think she's leaving my house? Your father stiffened but stood his ground. She didn't come willingly. She didn't choose this marriage. I let her stay because I had to, but the deal is done. I'm taking my daughter back from you. Something snapped. Jungkook grabbed him by the collar so hard the man's feet almost left the floor. Daniel swore under his breath and stepped forward, but Jungkook was fast, too fast. She is my wife, my woman, the mother of my child. You think you can walk in here and take her from me? From me? Your father's breathing hissed, but he stared back bravely. She cries every night because of you. Jungkook froze, just for half a heartbeat. Then the fury returned, 10 times stronger. He slammed your father against the wall hard enough to rattle the frames. Daniel rushed forward immediately. Boss, stop. Jungkook didn't hear him. No one takes her, not while I'm alive, not even you. Your father joked. You don't love her, it was a deal. You can't just kiss her. That was it. Jungkook lifted his fist. But Daniel grabbed his arm midair. A dangerous move, something only that he could dare. Boss, stop. If you did something to him, she will hate you so badly you will never recover from it. Jungkook's arm stopped inches from your father's face. Daniel continued, voice low but strong. She hates your silence already. You lose her forever, forever. Jungkook's breathing turned erratic. His face trembled. Your father coughed, slumping slightly. Daniel supporting him. Eyes burning with frustration, he couldn't hide anymore. He wanted to erase his existence more than anything, but losing you, that would destroy him first. He turned away, jaw clenched so tight it looked painful. Get him out. Daniel nodded and held your father's arms, guiding him out of the office. Just before the door closed, your father looked back at Jungkook with pleasing pain. I will take her back one day, when she realized what loving you cost her. Jungkook didn't move, didn't blink, but his knuckles turned white. When the floor finally shut, Jungkook slammed his fist into the wall, and the whole office shook. The moment Mr. Lee stepped out of Jungkook's office, trying to straighten his collar, only for a hand to yank it hard. Fixing your collar won't change what you are. Mr. Lee stiffened, glaring weakly. What's your... Daniel shoved him back against the wall. I have never, he hissed, leaning close, never in my life seen a man treat his own daughter and still have the guts to stand here demanding her back like she is furniture you loaned out. Mr. Lee's face pale. He tried to push Daniel's hand away, but the man don't move an inch. A cheap man, a cheap father, that's all you are. I did what necessary. Daniel laughed, bitter and low. Necessary? For who? For your greed. You handed her to Mr. John because you were drowning in debt. You traded her safety, her happiness, her life. Mr. Lee breathed stuttered. Daniel leaned in further, voice dropping to a deadly whisper. In words of all, you forgot that you are going against John Jungkook. Mr. Lee froze. You forgot who he is, what he is, and if I wasn't in that room, you would be on the floor. He released Mr. Lee with a shove. If you want to live, pretend same like you were doing from last 3 years, because if boss loses Mrs. John because of you, he smirked darkly. Hell will look peaceful compared to what he will do. Daniel opened the door for your father mockingly. Leave before he changes his mind. Daniel shoved your father toward the elevator and hit the button hard. The doors opened with a soft ding, and Mr. Lee stumbled inside without looking back. The doors closed. Daniel exhaled sharply, turning to leave, but then froze because he saw, too late, the private elevator around the curved hallway, the one only Jungkook and you used. And there you were standing there, holding a paper envelope against your chest, eyes red, not from tears, but now everything you had just heard.